This episode, we'll be breaking down the walls between the known and the unknown,
reaching out to the other side,
and defining just who will be gracing the tippy top of the championship and where the rest of the grid falls into place. It's time for Up or Down.
For this episode, we'll be predicting whether each rider will place up or down in this season's opening race with respect to last year's Qatar race results. All right, starting with this year's only rookie, Tito Rabat on Honda.
Tito Rabat is going to place somewhere. It's his first season. I think he's got a lot to learn. It's going to be a developing season for him. New bike, new tracks, everything. So that's Tito Rabat.
Yeah, same with me. He's not going to be high up on the list for sure. He's going to be near the bottom. I don't think he's going to be dead last, but he's a good rider. Won Moto 2 in 2014, finished third last year. So future's bright for Tito Rabat.
Moving on to Alvaro Bautista.
Aprilia, not really competitive right now. They're going to be making improvements throughout the season, but he's going to be placing up from last year because he crashed last year. So
I also said up because he's going to finish the race this year, hopefully. Yeah, his bike isn't quite competitive yet, but it's going to happen yet throughout the season, so we'll look forward to that.
Another did not finish from last year's Qatar race was Jack Miller on Honda.
I say he's going to go up because, again, he's going to finish the race this season. He's still very young, and he's showing improvement with his work ethic this season. Compared to last season, he just wasn't really in it all the way, so hopefully he can get that under control and push for wins and push for good placements.
yeah, I don't expect much from him. He's going to be near the bottom of my list, even if he does finish. The bike isn't very competitive right now, but he's a good rider, so we'll see what happens.
So in last spot from last year's race was Loris Baz on Ducati.
Huge surprise. He's been testing really well. Fantastic, in fact, and he's definitely going up for me.
I'm saying up as well. He's got a fast bike, and he showed a lot of confidence in a previous test. And when he had the high-speed crash there, got up, kept going, didn't lose too much speed. It's pretty awesome. I'm saying up.
Also on Ducati is Eugene Laverty.
I'm saying down. He's just a back-of-the-pack rider, and he's not really that fast. And I haven't seen anything impressive from him at all this season, or the preseason tests.
Yeah, I'm going down as well on Ducati this year, but he just has not looked good at all in testing so far. He's going down.
On the other Aprilia, Stephen Brattle.
So far, Stephen Brattle has been racing all right. The Aprilia, not very competitive yet. They'll be getting improvements. Last year, he started off on the Yamaha before switching over to Aprilia, but he's going down for me.
I say down as well. He's a back-of-the-pack rider, in my opinion. His bike isn't competitive yet. They might get a faster bike throughout the season, and he needs to show more speed to place higher.
On Ducati, Hector Barbera.
Hector Barbera. I place him going up. He's got a fast bike. He had a really good preseason test at Qatar this season, and at the end of last season, he was showing some really good speed. He really impressed me last season. I think that's going to carry on into this season, and he's going to do better and better.
Yeah, up for me as well. Big time. His tests have been phenomenal this year. That's all there is to say about him.
In 14th position last year was Maverick Vinales.
Huge up for me. He's got the full seamless gearbox ready on the Suzuki now. The Suzuki bike has just been improved like crazy this year. He's going way up, and he tested phenomenal as well these last couple tests.
I'm saying up. He had an incredible preseason test at Qatar. He's showing insane speed. He's got a more competitive bike from last season, and he's being compared to Rossi, Lorenzo, Marquez, Danny Pedrosa as an alien rider. He's just that good.
With him being a rookie last year, it'd be worthy to note that would have been his first MotoGP race as well. In 13th position was Scott Redding on Ducati.
I'm saying up for Scott Redding. Again, an awesome preseason test for him. He's showing some great speed. He's got a super fast bike underneath him, and he's showing the drive to win.
Yeah, up for me as well. Switching over from the Honda to Ducati, he's got the GP15 now, and it just clicked for him. Second fastest in Qatar test, so I don't expect him to be second fast in the race, but he's going up big time for me.
Last year in 12th spot was Petrucci. However, due to an injury, he will not be racing, and Pirro, the Ducati test rider, will be subbing in for him. So we're going to move on to Aleix Espargaro on the other Suzuki.
Aleix is having a lot of trouble with these new tires, adapting to them. He just hasn't been able to get to ride the bike to its limits yet, so I'm going to say down.
I'm saying down as well. I haven't really seen him impress in the preseason. He's not really showing too much speed with his bike, and not nearly as much as Vinales has with the same bike, so I'm saying down.
In 10th position, last year's Qatar race, was Yanni Hernandez on Ducati.
I think Hernandez is going down. He does have a pretty good bike. It's pretty competitive, and he is showing some good speed. However, I don't think he's showing as much progression as some of the younger riders, who I think are going to place ahead of him this race, so he's going to go down.
He tested really good. It's a strong track for him, but I'm going down also because he hasn't made, other teams have just progressed further than him. He's still a great rider, just hasn't made the same adjustments.
Pol Espargaro on Tech 3 Yamaha.
Down for me as well. Tech 3 is not, I'm not sure if it's the bike having not made improvements or if it's just other teams that have gotten so much better, but they're not looking quite as good as they were last year.
I'm saying down. It seems like he's just not jiving too well with his team and his bike. There have even been rumors of him wanting a trade, like to a different team, so that obviously doesn't go too well with being able to race.
On the other Tech 3 Yamaha was Bradley Smith.
Bradley Smith, I'm saying, is going down. He hasn't really shown much this preseason. Again, it looks like he hasn't quite progressed as much as some of the younger riders, who I think are going to place ahead of him in the race.
Yeah, disappointing testing for Bradley Smith so far, and it's just not looking very positive. He's going down for me, and hopefully Tech 3 can come up with some solutions for the season.
And in 7th place was Cal Crutchlow on LCR Honda.
Cal Crutchlow, he is going to stay neutral for me. He is a fantastic rider, one of the best non-factory riders out there, and he's been really fast in testing all year. So I expect him to do very well in this race.
I'm saying down. It hurts me to say that. I want him to do good this season, and I think he will. He is showing some great speed, an improved bike from last season as well. But again, I don't think he's progressed as much as the younger riders. Those guys are just running crazy speeds, and they're going to push him down, I think.
In 6th position at last year's Qatar race was Danny Pedrosa on Factory Honda.
Danny Pedrosa has a borderline unrideable bike. He's been struggling a lot in this preseason test, and I think he might be starting to show his age. I think Danny Pedrosa is going down.
He has had so much trouble setting up the bike this year, but he is Danny Pedrosa. This is Danny Pedrosa that we're talking about, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but he is going down. He's going down.
Next was Marc Marquez.
Marc Marquez, slower than Maverick Vinales at this last Qatar test. But in a race, that sophomore doesn't stand a chance. Maverick Vinales cannot stand up to Marc Marquez in a full race. Marc Marquez going up.
Marc Marquez has the killer instinct. He is one of the best racers of all time. He's young, he's gunning for the top. Even though he's on an unrideable bike, this is Marquez we're talking about. He will ride above that bike's limits. I'm saying Marc Marquez will go up.
In 4th position was Jorge Lorenzo.
Jorge Lorenzo is on the best bike on the grid. This is Jorge Lorenzo we're talking about. He is also one of the best riders on the grid. He set the best combined lap times at this Qatar test. Jorge Lorenzo is going up.
Jorge has been known to be a slow starter who gets stronger as the year continues. The M1, on the other hand, has adapted really well to these ECU and tire changes, and Jorge himself has adapted to these tire changes better than any other rider on the grid. He had the helmet malfunction last year. What's it going to be this year? He crashed out the year before, but I'm saying he's going up.
In 3rd place, on the podium, was Andrea Iannone.
His test, he did not set the fastest lap that he could have at this last Qatar test. Didn't use the soft rear tire on the last day like all the other riders did to get a fast result. He says he's going to be faster at the race by a margin than his Qatar test. He finished 3rd last year, but he's going down. There's no way he's going to finish 3rd this year.
Iannone has the fastest bike on the grid. That Ducati has some ridiculous speed. Andrea Iannone was the first rider to finish behind the aliens of last season. That shows some skill. However, I don't think he's going to be as good this season as he was last season. His preseason test hasn't been too good. They've been good, but not too good. I think he's going down.
Next, on the podium, we have Andrea Dovizioso.
Andrea Dovizioso, again, has the fastest bike on the grid. The Ducati is fast. However, the end of last season, he was having trouble putting it all together. Was having trouble scoring points, just wasn't great for him. And I think some younger riders are progressing more than he has. For that reason, I think he's going down.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Dovizioso tested fastest last year at Qatar. This year, I don't even feel comfortable putting him into my top 10. There's a chance he could finish outside of the top 10 for me on such a great bike. He has taken a backseat to Iannone. I'm worried about him. He's going down.
In first place at last year's Qatar race, Valentino Rossi.
Oh, he was very consistent during testing this year. Really fast, really quick. He adapted to the tires really well. He's on the M1 again, which is adapted to the ECU. Very impressive. Finished first last year, second overall in the standings. What more is there to say about him? He's amazing. He is amazing. He doesn't have the pace that Jorge Lorenzo has set at Qatar this year. And I might cry a little bit, but he has to go down for me. He's going down for me.
Shut your dirty mouth. Rossi is staying the same. Rossi will win this race. Listen, it doesn't matter what the testing says, qualifying or anything. Come race time, this is Valentino Rossi we're talking about. He has more experience than the rest of the pack combined. This is Valentino Rossi, the greatest of all time. This is Valentino Rossi, the doctor. He wants this win. He wants to prove that he can win the championship. He's coming out swinging. That whole thing from last season, all the drama, he's been playing it down quietly over the winter test or the winter break. He's coming back swinging. Valentino Rossi is the best there ever was. He will win. He's going up. Staying the same.
You're in denial.
Yeah, well, you're just dumb. That's all I have. That's all I can say about that. You're just dumb. You're a Lorenzo lover.
No!